Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to cook butter chicken with rice. Now it's a really easy recipe to execute, and I really like this dish because it's sort of an all-in-one dish. You get your protein, your carbs, and your vegetables all in one dish. So I'm going to show you how to execute and cook this recipe. Let's get right to it. The first step is to boil some water in preparation for cooking the rice. And the amount of water that you should be boiling is completely dependent on the amount of rice that you will be using, and also dependent on the type of rice that you will be using. So for the rice that I am using, it requires a 2-to-1 ratio. I will be using 2 cups of rice, and therefore I am boiling 4 cups of water. So I have put the water in the pot, and I'm just going to turn the oven element on high, and I'm going to get this water boiling. Now that I have put the water to boil, I am going to get the chicken, and as you can see, I have cut it into cubes. I'm going to get the chicken and I'm going to put it in this pan right here. And basically, I'm just going to put the camera down for a moment as I do this so that I can use both of my hands. Now that I have put the chicken in the pan, I am going to turn this oven element on medium heat. So I'm just going to turn it on to medium heat, just like that, and I am going to begin to brown the chicken. Now when I am browning the chicken, I like to spread it out along the pan just like this. And you actually don't need to put any oil in the pan because the chicken juices will start to extract, and the chicken juices will sort of lubricate the pan, so you don't really need any oil. Now basically I like to use a pan that has a lid, just like this, because with the lid on the pan, it allows the chicken to brown much faster. So now I am basically waiting for the water to boil, and I am waiting for the chicken to become brown on the outside. And I'm just going to wait for both of these to happen. As the chicken becomes brown on the side that is touching the pan, I try to flip it over so that I can sort of evenly brown the chicken. So as you can see right there, those sides are starting to get cooked, and I just flip it all over so that the process for cooking the outside of the chicken is somewhat even. Now that the water is boiling, I am going to put the rice into the water. So this is 1 cup right here, and that is the 2nd cup of rice. So I'm just going to put this cup of rice in there, just like that. And I'm also going to put the 2nd cup of rice in there, just like that. And now I am going to turn the heat for this burner on low. And before I put the lid on, I'm just going to give it a quick stir, because in my experience, rice tends to stick to the pot and if you don't stir it. So I just try to stir it once very thoroughly before I put the lid on. And now I put the lid on. I believe that it is this one. I put the lid on just like that. And basically, I put it on, but I just leave it slightly open. It is not completely on. And every minute and a half to 2 minutes, I stir the rice again. And now that the rice is in there, once again, I just take a look at the chicken, and you can see that it is almost completely cooked on the outside. And that is what I am waiting for. So I'm just going to use the tongs to turn it once again. I'm just going to use these to turn the chicken once again. And I'm waiting for all of the pieces of chicken to be cooked on the outside to the point where I don't see any pink anymore. So I'm just going to flip all these pieces of chicken one more time, and then I'm going to give that rice a stir one more time. All right, now that the chicken has been fully cooked on the outside, I am going to add the vegetables. But before I do that, I'm just going to take a look at the rice to see how it's coming along. I can see that it's coming along pretty nicely, and I'm just going to give it a quick stir once again. And I'm going to put the lid on, just like that. And I'm going to add the vegetables to the chicken. So you can use whatever vegetables that you want to, but for myself, I have chosen to use broccoli, and I'm going to use quite a bit of broccoli. Now, generally, I will use 2 or 3 different types of vegetables, and I will use a little bit less of each. But I'm just going to use broccoli this time. I'm going to try something new. So I'm going to use quite a bit of broccoli. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up and put it into the pan right here with the chicken. And I'm going to just use the tongs, which I have actually thoroughly washed, because I am a fanatic when it comes to raw chicken. I wash everything thoroughly. Even sometimes it's overkill, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the broccoli around, just like that. And I'm going to put this lid on, completely on, just to make sure that the broccoli gets steamed and starts to soften up. Now, it should also be noted that this lid has a small hole in it. And at this point, now that the rice has been decently cooked, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the lid on, because I don't have to put the lid completely on. It is sealed on there, because I don't have to stir it nearly as often now that the rice is at this point in the cooking process. So I'm basically keeping my eyes on the rice, and I am just giving the broccoli a few minutes to steam, and I'm also giving the chicken some more time to cook, because right now only the outside is cooked, the inside is still somewhat raw. So I'm just waiting on both right now. Okay, now that the broccoli has started to steam and the chicken is starting to seriously cook, I'm just going to give it a quick swirl like this, and I'm going to turn the heat on low now. So I'm turning it from medium to low. And I'm going to put in my butter chicken sauce. Now, you can make your own sauce, or you can use any type of, any brand, any version of butter chicken sauce that you want, but I like this specific butter chicken sauce. Now, here's the key. I'm going to put in about half of the amount that I will be using. So I'm going to use the whole jar overall, but right now I'm only going to put in about half, just like that. And now I'm going to swirl it around and just try and get the chicken and the broccoli to absorb some of the sauce and to sort of marinate in some of the sauce. And I'm going to just keep swirling it around every minute or so until the rice finishes cooking. And I just want to do this so that the chicken and the broccoli start to marinate in the sauce and really start to get some flavor. So I'm just swirling them around. I'm going to put the lid back on this pan right here, and I'm going to take a look at the rice. And as you can see, it is coming along nicely. It is almost finished. So basically, I'm just going to keep swirling this around every minute or so until the rice has finished cooking. I'm just going to check on the rice, and it looks like it has finished. Okay, so now that the rice has finished cooking, I'm going to shut that burner off, and I am going to take this lid off, and I'm going to put the rice in this pan right here. Now, this is where you have to use your judgment, because although I made this much rice, I might not need it all. So I'm going to go ahead and use my judgment and put either all or some of this rice into this pan. So I ended up putting the majority of the rice into the pan, and now I'm going to take the rest of the sauce, of the butter chicken sauce, and I'm going to pour it into the pan just like that. And basically right now the element for this pan is on low heat and everything is in the pan. And I'm just going to use pretty much any cooking utensil to stir everything around for a few minutes so that the rice soaks up the taste. Alright, so I have just finished stirring the rice, broccoli, and chicken in the butter chicken sauce, and I am just going to turn off the stove just like that, and basically the process has been finished. All that you have to do now is remove it from the pan and serve it. And as you can see, it looks delicious and it was actually really easy to make. And in this video, I have shown you how to make butter chicken with rice. It is a really simple process and I have walked you through all of the instructions in a step-by-step manner. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.